Stepping on a beach. Back at it again. In the mines. The mines, the mines. The things we say, the things we do, the mines, the mines. We're back. Back at it again. To the mines. Back at it again with the white vans. Yes. Yes. Alright, let's see. Crazy how short long actually is. Shit. Here we go again. We're back at it. Water 7 / NES lobby. Morning? It's morning for you. Shit, it's get an ad. Yeah, you already got an ad? That's crazy. We're back at it. We're back at it again with the bullshit. We're back at it again with your favorite topics of conversation, power scaling, and what have you, and all the stuff, and all the whatnots, and all the different things and stuffs, and what have you. Now, it's morning because I'm going to work. It's like 3 p.m. for me. Ah. Nice. It do be like that, though. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, what's up, Aster? Sorry about setting things up so late. It'd be like that sometimes. I had to go take care of a couple of things. So I was moving around.
Surrender. Surrender.
Okay. Okay. Let's really get started. Okay. That's enough of my phone. This chick somehow got her way into the Olympics, got the whole category taken away. Yeah, she got the whole category taken away. Anyway, guys, it is time for the Foxy arc. Good luck. We're already done with the Foxy arc. What are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna check out. What the fuck? Device connected malfunction. We're gonna try reconnecting. Yeah. No, it's working. Still working? Yeah, it's still working. Okay. Okay. There'll be Databook stuff this weekend. I'll do the entire Databook. Let me check it out then. Appreciate it, Jeff. Really, really appreciate it. JK, Naruto, One Piece, Naruto. It would be in the Databook. All this stuff is sweet. The raw scans. Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get these translated. I'm gonna have to translate these, aren't I? Fuck the raw scans, dude. An ninjutsu that used the Rinnegan entrusted to him by the Sage of Six Paths, as long as it is within a particular range. In an instant, he can shift the place in which the targeted object is with the user himself. In the middle of a short distance battle, you can both avoid the enemy's attacks in a moment. If you swap yourself out with another object, you can attack. If you swap yourself with a kunai or something like that. The target that switched places with him can be a person or even an object like a sword. He can switch places with targeted object he saw with his eye. The extremity of a teleportation technique, which he jumps into a separated space in an instant. You know what's funny? Amenotejikara says that he can swap himself with people and objects, but he can also swap, like, people and objects into different locations. Just discovered the Hado 91 has gravitational force. Nice. Do you guys think that the dark fruit or Blackbeard's biology that let him eat 2 fruits? Probably his biology. Has to do something with his biology. I think it has to do with his heart. Okay, let's start up Water 7. How's everybody been doing? Sorry I took so long. I had to go get a haircut. I have to go do a couple of errands. But now, all in preparation... Well, first of all in preparation for Valentine's Day. But now, we're back on this. We're back on this stuff. These things that we talk about. These things that we do. Oh, man. What the oh, there we go. Ah, man! Dude, I'm feeling tired. And no longer am I feeling tired. Yes, my prodigy drew out into the open. Yeah. Alright. Oh, Nami, I made pomme paella for you, mademoiselle. Mademoiselle. This is the morning of the 3rd day at sea. The sky is blue and the weather is balmy like spring. Delicious joy. How am I supposed to sleep? Yeah, sorry about that cactus hat. What's that? Hey, Dart Boy. What'd you say, Luffy? Dart. Yeah, it's about time. Chink. This is me as frozen Luffy. Oh, that's right. Luffy has to fight Kizaru. I forgot to add the stuff with Kizaru. Shit. Well, I guess we have to go back to Long Ring Long real quick. Very close to seeing Shirtless Chozo animated. Are we very close to seeing Shirtless Chozo animated? I don't recall that. I don't recall Chozo being shirtless. Huh. Oh, good. Hey, Straw Hat. You shouldn't move, boss. I was worried. I wasn't worried at all, liar. Now that I think about it, there'd be no point in me being a pirate if not on this ship. Hee. Yo, Zoro's such a hypocrite. He said, yo, I'm really not about to be a pirate if I'm not on this ship. That's crazy. Son really told Chopper to look like a man, too. That's some hypocritical shit. Oh, yeah, Kenjaku fight. That's right. I just thought that he ate the Kraken fruit since the octopus have 3 hearts with... Which could help with Blackbeard's 3 motif, plus the Kraken is from Norse mythos, so it could be a fruit from Elbath. I don't know if it's going to be a fruit from Elbath, but it's still a possibility that you can get a fruit such as that. What do you think about CP9 power scales? I got another ad. Talking about, like, what do I think about CP9's power scaling? Some of the panels for next chapter One Piece are crazy. You saw the JJK spoilers. I'm trying to not see. I saw something get, like, dismantled. I'm really not trying to see spoilers. I really don't want to. And I only saw the spoilers because somebody fucking posted it in a group I'm in. You dared besmirch my legendary perfect record. Very well done, brother. Boss? Oh, yeah. Super vengeance shoulder throw. What an idiot. You know the rules. Now hurry up and choose. Who do you want from my crew? Do you want Sunny, the head of all 50 Foxy ship carpenters, the carpenter who can also fight, Donovan, or Gina, the sexy ship carpenter? Poo. I wanted Chappie. Whoever it is, Luffy, now you're free to choose. Give me your Jolly Roger. What? Hey, you sure about that? What about the sexy carpenter, Gina? Won't you regret this? If I actually will get what I want, I'll forget why I accepted the challenge in the first place. I'm glad. No way. You have no scruples about snatching away the very symbol of a pirate pride. Don't worry about the sail. Without that, you guys can't go out to sea. So merciful, but the sail shows our symbol too. If we can't display it, then we don't need your pity. Just take what you want. Alright, it's just a symbol. So I'll draw you a new one over it, and then you won't need to take the sail. Straw Hat, you're so... There. That's horrible. They're so grateful. No, we're not. Wait, Chappie. Let me hug you one more time. Wah! The victor is the Straw Hat crew, and this concludes the Davy Back fight. Sure, the merry-go is finally being released. Yeah. Hey, Straw Hat, we'll remember this. What a weird group of pirates. Nay, now it's my turn to wait for you. I don't care how long it takes. Better wait. After all, we're in the village. We kicked their butts. You people, you're injured. We're used to it. Thank you, Sherry. I'll tend to your wounds. I see, so that's why you accepted the challenge, although you probably would have done it anyway. Show some respect. If you could only take you to where the village is moved, but since the 10 islands are actually connected to form the long camp point it, you don't have to. We'll be very patient. We'll be fine. So these are your comrades. More cheese. Snore. Who are you guys? Who are you? Oh my, you've turned into a pretty woman, Nico Robin. Robin, what's wrong? Do you know this guy? We go way back. I've never seen Robin so agitated. Who are you? Don't look so murderous, my friends. I'm not here on orders. The weather was nice, so I was in control. Orders, the organization that you belong to. He's Admiral Aokiji of the Navy. Okay. Didn't you see Gojo comes back in the comments and how he could have negative fraud Kuna if he wasn't nerfed by being fraud Gagami for so long? Nope, I haven't seen that. I think Foxy and Rocks have a better... I'm pretty sure Foxy has the better record than Rocks. Rocks didn't do like 970 fights. Nami or Robin? Nami. Well, both. ¿Por qué no los dos? Why not both? Where do you scale Luffy from each arc in terms of AP? It's kind of rough. I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of rough to really scale Luffy. That's why I'm kind of doing it. If you want an honest answer, let me finish this up, and then let me finish up this like tiny little piece right here. Let me just add these real quick, and I'll explain that. Okay, I need to check your Wi-Fi. Yeah, you go check that out. Hey, what's up, Sailor? Okay, the crew meet Aokiji and Robin states the world government calls the 3 admirals the ultimate military force. Shouldn't you go after bigger pirates with several hundred millions on their heads? Just go away. Another cutie. Are you free tonight? How dare you, jerk? Didn't you hear what he said? Just hold on a minute. I'm not here what I said besides you guys. What's with this guy? Gum. Okay. I should have figured at least report it to headquarters since you've added another member with a price on your head. The total bounty goes up 100. I'm not sure what that is. It's a big amount. Add it up. Gum. Wait, Luffy, stop. What are you guys doing? What's the sense in provoking him? He's a super strong Navy man. Yeah, so are we going to just let him take Robin? Like I said, I'm not going to do a thing. I'll beat the crap out of him. Yeah, taking a walk. Yeah, right. You don't walk. Well, don't walk around here again. Just go away. Give me a break, man. I think Luffy's winning this. Alright, then I'll leave. But before that, I'll listen while I sleep. You, huh? I'm a very light sleeper. I heard most of your conversation. Prepare to move out immediately. Guys, don't listen to him. Isn't that a good thing? He says he's going to help you. Impossible. Basically, the villagers moved away when we were gone, and we won't be able to catch up to them. Nami states that moving Tanjit into the next series of islands would be impossible without the log pose pointing towards it. He's gonna help. Impossible. You want to go 3 islands from here. You plan to wait the tide to recede on a horse. However, your horse has an injured leg. Isn't that so? I'll be fine. I'm not convinced that I'll know. This man can make it happen. We're at shore. This is where the tide recedes once a year. Open the path. Hard work is nice every once in a while. No kidding. This feels great. You say some pretty right-on things. Gee, thank you all for your help. How about some cheese? Do you like cheese? Don't offer him that. They ended up getting along. And what will you do next? Will you pull the horse and the house across the swim? Yeah, right. Stay back. A little, Ice Age. It's the master of the seas. Okay. Aokiji offers to get Tonjit across to the next few islands. He sticks his hand in the water and a sea king attacks. He instantly freezes the entire ocean between the islands with Ice Age. Tonjit says he created a continent of ice. Devil fruit powers. The sea is frozen. This is the power of Navy Admiral. This will hold for a week. You can take a leisurely walk to meet up with your village. It'll get cold, so make sure to bundle up. Aokiji says it'll hold for a week. Given that Tonjit can get to his village, which are 3 islands away. That means that Aokiji froze 3 seas worth of land, water. Yo, that's kind of crazy. It wasn't just like 1 sea that he froze. He had to have frozen more than 1 ocean. That's so cool. How could I describe you? You're just like your grandpa. Grants? What's the matter? You're sweating. No, nothing. I mean, well, I owed your grandpa on Ginger 9. You guys had dead or die now. The government still doesn't think very highly of you, but now that I've had a closer look at you, I see that you and your crew have grit. Although you're a small number, a collection of troublemakers like you is bound to become bothersome in time. I know all the details from the first bounty placed in your head to your many of your other exploits and how quickly your strength has grown. Aokiji states that he understands the details behind what the Straw Hats have been through and says that they've grown strong rather quickly. That is still crazy. 1 second, guys. I'll check out your comments in a second. Just came out like that, or you are targeting Ramen. I'll kick your butt. The amount of bounty doesn't reflect the criminal's strength. There's also the danger level poses to the government. A bounty doesn't just reflect strength. It is a measure of how much of how you're fucking lying, dude. It didn't do. Alright. A bounty doesn't just reflect strength. It also reflects how dangerous the individual is towards the world government. The danger level. Poses to the world government. The Alright. Betraying someone. Perhaps Robin snaps Aokiji's back. He makes a blade. Aokiji is broken in half by Robin and reconstructs himself. Zoro, Luffy, and Sanji attack him, but get instantly frozen by his powers. Comes like Rod, you sing your comrades. He instantly freezes Robin. He instantly freezes Robin. That was close. Don't even try. The world is better off without that woman. I hate to inform you, but we're pirates. All pirates are like that. Please move. Nami, hold it, both of you, gently. Don't butt in. Let's settle this, you and me. That's fine. I don't have a ship to take you back. Means I'll just have to kill you here. She can't breathe, can she? I think she's in a near death state. If she is, are you sure? I've never seen a person completely frozen. Aokiji, I don't know, but there's no other way. How can you not, Robin? I've never seen a person completely frozen. Aokiji said that he's still alive, but I don't understand. Can you please be quiet? Chopper. Save the talk for later. We're going to do something about the frozen arms. Alright, we have one of the frozen parts right away. Robin's in the shower room now. Is Robin alright? After you melt the ice at a low temperature, keep rubbing the affected parts and come aboard, please. What are you guys doing? One-on-one. You guys left Luffy out there. It was Captain's orders. Coward. How could you? Shut up. He said one-on-one. Do you understand it? Cut it out. This isn't the time or place. Just be prepared for the worst. You're a strange one after all. He attacks. Gum Gum Storm. Ice time. Let's settle this. Oh shucks, you got me. I agreed to a one-on-one fight, so that means if I win, that's it. Isn't that so? If I lay a hand on the others, I'll be breaking my word, right, Captain? Or did you really think you could beat me? I'll just say this. You will all undoubtedly come to understand that woman. Crocodile. Oh, never mind. Smoker, silly message. I could shatter you right here and kill you effortlessly, but I owe you one. Yep. Both of their hearts are beating. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're done. Luffy tries to finish the fight in an instant with Storm, but he gets instantly frozen. Okay, so somebody had asked me some questions. My bad, guys. Okay, just saw a short about the Admirals versus the Tailed Beast. Who do you have winning, or would you make a vid on it? Admirals absolutely curb stomp the Tailed Beast. There's nothing they can do about it. The Tailed Beast don't stand a chance. Do you think movie Luffy is stronger than anime Luffy or manga Luffy? I would say right now, movie Luffy is probably the strongest version, depending on how you interpret the stuff from Film Red and the stuff with Tot Musica. I would say anime Luffy is probably the fastest, if you include the Horty Jones pill meta, and manga Luffy is probably the weakest. I'm gonna be honest. Gonna rizz up Nami real soon. Also, how far into Long Green Long is? Have you been following the Winter Olympics? I do not. I do not follow sports. I barely follow the Summer Olympics. Do you think Luffy will start looking like Garp when he's 50 or 60? Hopefully. Not. I don't know. I don't like Garp's build. Those One Piece spoilers are looking pretty insane. Twitter makes memeing clowns Naruto because this dude Loki is legitimately bigger than the Ten Tails, and the Ten Tails modded up multiple meters put together. Horizon is visible after 50 kilometers. Those islands are 50 kilometers apart at least. 30 islands away is 150 kilometers minimum. We don't account for islands length. Yeah. The fact that bro did it casually was crazy. Kuzan's introduction feat is insane. More impressive than all the other admirals. Twitter spoiled me Loki's form. Good thing I don't use Twitter. Please don't say anything else, guys. Do you believe Blackbeard is top 5? No, I do not. I do not believe that Blackbeard is top 5 right now. Currently, maybe not for definitive. Can you imagine how painful it must be to get frozen solid? I mean, you're basically going through a massive amount of pain. Hey, what's up, Caleb? It's been a minute, man. Hope you're doing well. Because Zoro didn't get his buff this against Kuzan. I don't know, man. Somebody had asked me before, I think it was Aster, had asked me before, where do I scale Luffy in terms of every arc? It's actually kind of weird, especially pre-timeskip, because, like, a lot of the things that you have to base off for Luffy, there's, like, a bit of a caveat to talk about. If you're going in through, like, let's say, East Blue onward, like, Grand Line Luffy, East Blue, sorry, not East Blue onward, basically him entering the Grand Line through and through, it's kind of weird, man. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it is kind of weird. Luffy's obviously capable of hurting, like, a giant whale like Laboon, but I don't think that necessarily makes him island level just because you have to, at that point, or island level or mountain level, just because Laboon is the size of a mountain, right? Like, Laboon is still flesh and bones. It's not like if Luffy punches Laboon, he's gonna just be able to, like, I don't know, punch straight through a mountain or some shit, right? Like, it just doesn't translate well enough. Especially since all Laboon really does is, like, smash its head against the red line, which even Dory and Broggy can't, like, pierce through. They can't pierce through the blood-soaked snake, so I'm not exactly sure. If, like, I would necessarily be comfortable with, like, Luffy being mountain level by that point. It just doesn't add up for me, in my opinion. It just doesn't, it doesn't at least convince me. I will say that much. You have feats like, Zoro being able to take on an entire town full of, like, let's say, for the most part, bounty hunters, but you can really just say that, like, they're still fodder in comparison. They're, like, probably tougher than normal humans. One of the things that I did find kind of interesting, though, was that, like, obviously the whole Igaram stuff with him wiping out, not wiping out, but him, like, tanking an entire, explosion that dwarfs an island. At least from the perspective of, like, the manga panel, the explosion that he tanks is. Do you think Kuzan is planetary? If you think that the admirals are at least relative to Whitebeard, then sure. I think I'd be fine with it. New JJK episode was amazing. Lovely. The explosion that, like, Igaram tank is honestly really good for, like, One Piece durability scaling. It definitely does shoot up the verse. Because, like, well, yes and no. It shoot ups the verse, but not the entirety of it. I think that, like, Igaram is obviously not your average human either. Yes, he is a human. Yes, he is not a powerful combatant, at least by, like, normal standards, even within the point of, like, Alabasta. But, like, he still is someone who is a royal guard. He must have some level of training. He must be at least tougher than the average individual. And him withstanding that explosion is by no means just like something weak either. I mean, like, the size itself of how much area was covered. I think Luffy gets stronger after Wano, of course. Why would it stop there? When reading Water 7, they will say Aqua Laguna tides come from the neighboring island. Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in check. As a matter of fact, let me pin this real quick. I don't know if we're gonna get there immediately, but let's go through. So then you go to, like, Little Garden. And Little Garden, I don't know if it necessarily, like, gives you a good idea of how powerful Luffy is either. You see, the thing about, like, Little Garden in general is that the most powerful beings on the island are objectively Dory and Broggy. Luffy does not scale to them, and neither does Mr. 3. I feel like people give Galdino a big, like, they just give him, like, a lot of leeway because they say that, like, well, he was able to stop the giants and etc., 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 but it's like, they basically had to turn a bomb, they basically had to turn a keg of alcohol into a bomb in order for it to blow up inside Dory, so Dory would take damage and then essentially go down in a fight against Broggy. That puts out one of the two giants out of their way. You could argue that Whitebeard wasn't at full power when he knocked out Akainu compared to at the start of the war. You could argue that he's at least in a worse condition. You can definitely argue that he's in a worse condition. I don't know about full power. I don't know if I want to say he's not at full power. And I don't want to say that just because, like, it really just boils down to how exhausted you think Whitebeard actually is. But it's kind of like an iffy topic of conversations. Only because Whitebeard is suffering from an illness, so we don't know how much of it is actual exhaustion and how much of it is an illness. You know what I mean? It's like, it's still up in the air. I think, like, any interpretation of it is fine. I just personally wouldn't say that he was at full power. More so, you know, he was definitely in a worse off condition, which could affect his overall power, right? Same thing with Dory, right? Dory got the insides blown out. He had, like, the inside of his body, like, exploded with that explosive alcohol, you know what I mean? So it's like, Dory just could not keep up with Broggy, and that's why he got slashed down, right? Would you say Shanks versus Sasuke isn't close? Of course not. Weren't the AoE of the Quakes an issue for Whitebeard? I remember hearing that. I don't think that they were. I don't. We'll go through it when we get to Marineford, but I don't recall any of that right now. Also, if you scale Shanks 2 or above Luffy, Sasuke stands no chance. There's nothing in his arsenal that's gonna help him. Amaterasu's not an issue. Amenotejikara is not an issue. They're just not an issue. As long as you know where your opponent's going to be before they're there, it's just not an issue. I don't know what to tell you about that. Not to mention, he should just outright scale above in terms of just raw attack potency. Sasuke really just needs to, like, either do, like, a Kirin Blast, a Jutsu, some shit. He needs to, like, essentially, I want to say, like, set up, but Sasuke needs to land more hits than Shanks needs to land. I'm just going to say that. You have examples of, like, Usopp being able to tank 10,000 kilos on his back, which is, like, 20,000 pounds, which is, like, basically over a ton. How much is a kilo? Wait, 10,000 kilos? Yeah. 10,000 kilos is, like a ton, right? Usopp basically had a 1-ton person drop on his back, right? By this point, it's not exactly really simple to, like, give you a scale for Luffy. It is kind of rough to, like, really give Luffy an actual metric to which he can scale. It's 10 tons? 10,000 kilos, it's 10 tons? Wait, that's right. It's not 10,000 pounds. It's 10,000, it's not 10,000 pounds. It's like, what, 20,000 pounds equals a kilo? Or it's 2,000 pounds. Right, it's 10 tons. 10 tons. That's right. Like the comment from yesterday's stream that Haki would sense the intent of a Sharingan, so I guess what they're doing, Shanks has future sight, which is above that. Eon, Dante versus Deadpool is a good video you should do. Dante from Devil May Cry versus Deadpool. Dante from Devil May Cry versus Deadpool. What the fuck kind of scaling does Deadpool have? I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't even know where to start for looking up stuff for Deadpool. Dante, I can just look up the games. I might get into that maybe later. That's not a bad idea. Karu and Usopp are too fast to catch, etc., etc. Luffy has a skull the size of an island basically dropped on top of him. This arc is, I think, less about, like, Luffy's own attack potency, and I would say it is more about just the Straw Hats and Luffy's, like, durability than everything else. You know what I mean? Luffy has an island-sized skull on the basically, like, thrown on top of him, or at least he's put underneath it. He, what is it? Him and his crew are basically lit on fire. Nami, Vivi, Zoro, they're all lit aflame, and they still walk out of it, even while being in the flames for a while. They get eaten by an island-sized fish that they just fucking swing right through and blasted it to Kingdom Come. Zoro and Sanji are capable of taking down, you know, not giant, but they're basically able to take out, like, dinosaurs, like just regular schmegular dinosaurs. Apparently, even the island leader was able to, like, the island eater fish was capable of, like, you know, it's capable of eating away entire islands, and it's also capable of, like, letting out poop that forms itself into the size of an island. You know what I mean? Good day. Did you read the new JJK? Nope, I do not read leaks. I do not like leaks. I think, like, Drum Kingdom, even Drum Kingdom's not, like, a good place to, like, really place Luffy's attack potency, because it's like, he can send a person flying to another island. I can't give you the exact skill, because we don't know what the distance between him and the other island is. It's so fucked, man. It's so fucked. It's like, for one of my biggest issues with, like, early One Piece, or at least, like, early Grand Line One Piece, is that it's kind of hard to, like, give Luffy an actual quantifiable scale for his attack potency without, you know, already giving him feats that he's already sort of performed, or straight up like just assuming that because he hurts large things that it scales him to that, right? At least on a direct, the easiest distance to take from now is on 50 kilometers. I mean, I still don't want to make those kind of assumptions, right? I don't like making those kinds of assumptions either way. I don't even like saying that, like, mountains are 200 meters tall unless it's stated otherwise, but it's like, it's apparently, like, the average size of a mountain, so I'm just like, I don't know, man. Let's see, I mean, yeah, Luffy deals with an avalanche that can rip 3 trees apart. Kureha, Sanji, yeah. Luffy can withstand minus 50 degree weather. I don't know, man. It's It's so weird. It's really fucking weird. It's not until like you kind of get to Alabasta that you might be able to like to actually define a quantifiable scale for someone like Luffy. Um, it's not really until then, I would say. Most of Alabasta doesn't really give you like a lot of information for Luffy. You can argue that like maybe like him helping take down like banana gators is a thing. They take care of banana gators, which prey on sea kings, but not all sea kings are the same, right? Like, not all sea kings are built the same. We see the other side of Alabasta Island before the horizon. Horizon is more than 50 kilometers away. If we don't see another island from one of them, we can take the 50 kilometers as a low ball. I get where you're coming from. No, I get where you're coming from, Marcos. I get what you mean. That's actually not a bad idea. It's not really until, like, you get to... It's really not until, like, you get to... I don't even know, man. It's not really until, like, you get to Luffy versus Crocodile, where, like, you can kind of see where their attack potency might lie. Crocodile has the capacity to create a Sables, or a Desert... Not a Desert Spada. It was a Sables that... Or a Sables that travels across picking up in power. So it's not necessarily clear, like, if Crocodile's own attack is, like... How do I put it? He's taking down an entire town and like an entire town of Yuba with a sandstorm. He's gonna cover it in sand, but the thing about that attack is that it's also picking up in power as it's traveling down to Yuba. You might be able to make an argument that like, what do you think has the worst backstory? I'm not answering. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. What is it? Can Gojo's Infinity stop or block an instantaneous attack? Instantaneous as in what? Like, from wherever it's starting, it hits him instantly? Probably not. Sables Pasado, I believe it was called. I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was Sable Pesado. I know that it stated, where is it? Croc gives Luffy 3 minutes before he takes him down. Luffy can keep up with Croc but can't land a hit because of low intangibility. He splits the desert with a single spada. He can make his sand into any weapon and states that he continuously conditions himself and improves his skills. Luffy outruns Croc's quicksand. And gets hit with a Barjan, which completely dried out Luffy's arm of all of its fluids. They fight right out of Rain Base, and Croc makes a Sables that is a giant desert storm that can easily be seen towering over Rain Base, the town. Vivi can also see it from a massive distance away because they already left. So I mean, you can argue that like Crocodile's destructive capacity probably reaches out of like, I wouldn't say like a town per se. Probably greater since it's traveling, since like she can see it from a distance. Like Vivi can actually see it, and it's traveling south to Yuba. It's also powerful enough to like blow Luffy back. And it's stated that the sandstorm is stated to potentially destroy Yuba. But the thing is that like Luffy still has like the grip string to like hurt Crocodile. That's the thing, right? How far does one pacifista go into JJK? It deals with a lot of JJK. Probably doesn't beat Maharaga. It probably doesn't beat Maharaga because the beams of light that pacifistas shoot don't exactly have the largest destructive range. What I mean is that like they create like these mini explosions, but they're not like Kizaru's that can just take down a large tree, one of the large mangroves in Sabaody Archipelago. Let's see, assuming that the Straw Hats left at about 6 hours prior to the start of the war, it's 5 hours now, so they're just reaching the Sandora Difference, which is described as wide as the sea and 50 kilometers wide. A giant catfish was taken down by the Kung Fu Dugongs that Luffy befriended earlier. Koza and his men are 30 minutes out of reaching Alubarna, 15 kilometers away, which means that they're traveling at 30 kilometers an hour. They have been traveling for 8 hours, which means that the distance between Nanohana and Alubarna is about 240 kilometers. Karoo and his duck friends are called the Supersonic Duck Squadron, may or may not be hyperbolic name. Usopp fires a flame star. Karoo. It's like the characters here are kind of crazy because it's like Mr. Four can swing a bat and move extremely quickly, and the bat that he swings weighs like 4 tons. Usopp can tank one of those to the face, can get sent flying, but Nami could get pitted, struck by somebody who is capable of easily like breaking through buildings and walking around and shit like that with Miss what was her name? Miss what's her face? Miss Spiky Thorns. The beams are extremely hot. When you adapt to the heat, it melts steel. When have pacifista beams melted steel? When did that happen? I don't recall that. Sorry about that. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I guess I'm just tired. I'm gonna keep dripping water. So, between Zoro being able to take attacks from a guy that easily splits through buildings and being able to lift the sword up while having, like, the entire midsection bleeding through, it's like, you can definitely make the argument that, like, not even so much like Luffy, but Oda himself isn't exactly giving you a quantifiable scale for the entirety of, like, the Straw Hat Pirates. He's just kind of going with, like, large strength-based feats that are extremely impressive, one after the other, without giving you an exact... without giving someone an exact, like, metric to quantify. Also, don't forget that the island fish is near 800 meters and weighs, I think, 1.5 tons. Relook at Kuma versus Zoro. The island fish is beam melted steel after Zoro dodged it. I'm gonna check that out when we get... yeah, it's double fingers, right. Wait, guys, I think anyone in One Piece is far faster than what we think, because in the One Piece planet is big, the gravity must be more dense. Probably. We don't know that, though. So, you kind of get to, like, the situation where, like, Crocodile, when he's fighting Luffy, is capable of not only dehydrating the entirety of the... well, not the entirety of the castle, but the entirety of, like, the castle's front yard. And he's able to essentially turn it all back into sand. He's also able to use, like, desert spotter to basically cleave clean through a building. Now, what's his face? Bon Clay. Bon Clay has the capacity to focus his attack potency, and so does Crocodile. When you see Crocodile slice through the building, you can literally see that his cleaving, his cleaving attacks, his desert spotter basically cleans right through it basically cleans right through the actual castle without actually, like, leaving any kind of fragmentation. He slices clean through, which is kind of crazy. Would you rather do it with butterfly form Aizen or Nurse Kenjaku? Nurse Kenjaku? What do you mean by Nurse Kenjaku? Kenjaku wearing a nurse's outfit? Or are you talking about Kenjaku with a female body? Which I think would probably... I guess that would be probably a little bit misogynist, right? Because, like, not all nurses are women. Probably Kenjaku in a nurse outfit. I don't know. Kenjaku doesn't look like an absolute fucking freak, and he doesn't have his own head. I'm not cracking Kenny. Fuck no. Don't you remember Kenjaku dressed up as a nurse? I don't remember that. Are you talking about in the fight with the joke guy? That wasn't exactly him dressing up, but let's just say that it is. I mean, I'd rather deal with Kenjaku as dressed up as a nurse than have to deal with Aizen, whose head is shoved so far up his ass that his breath smells like farts. Any manga recommendations? Something that potential apart from Kagurabachi? I know that one. Any recommendations? I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have, like, an actual scale for Luffy's, like, attack potency up until, like, maybe... I don't know, man. Shit. I don't know. I'd recommend Blue Lock. Maybe 7 Deadly Sins. 4 Nights of the Apocalypse. That one wasn't bad. At least I don't like the stuff I've been clicking through. Maybe Shangri-La Frontier. You might like Shangri-La Frontier. It all takes place in an RPG. And the main protagonist wears a bird head. I don't personally care for the main protagonist wearing a bird head, but, you know, some people like that. Yeah. His ability is literally based on swallowing. Whose ability is literally based on swallowing? So, I don't know. I guess, like, Luffy's best feat up until, like, Alabasta is really just cleaning... I guess Luffy's best feat around Alabasta is literally just punching Crocodile through multiple layers of bedrock. I guess. Gato / Kenjaku. I don't know if that's his ability, but I guess that would be Kenjaku's. Skypiea Luffy's a little bit interesting because Skypiea Luffy is capable of hitting Wiper, who is capable of also tanking Enel's attacks, and tagging him straight through a... He's actually capable of tagging Wiper straight through a burn bazooka, which is able to blast giant holes through trees while using white-hot flames, and Luffy's capable of tanking it. I don't necessarily believe that Luffy scales outright to the At least in terms of like his overall attack potency, I don't believe it scales outright to the Raigo, but I do believe that he was able to disperse the energy by flailing around his arm while covered in a giant golden ball. So I don't think that this is something that like Luffy can necessarily do on his own without like a golden ball. At the end of the day, it does kind of add. What about Water Luffy? I mean, what is Water Luffy's attack potency? It's just Luffy with folded water. It's just that. It doesn't really raise his attack potency. He doesn't really do anything that crazy with it. He's mostly just trying to hit Crocodile. The one thing I will say is that if you think that Luffy hits as hard as Enel does, and maybe you might, and I think it's possible to argue that Luffy doesn't punch as hard. I think it's fair to say that like Luffy doesn't punch as hard as Enel's lightning like strikes. I think that's like a fair assumption to make. But either way, like, he's still capable of hurting Enel. And we know that, like, at least in One Piece, durability, it seems to be, at the very least, somewhat relative to a character's attack potency. So if you want to argue that, like, Enel can wipe out portions of an island, he can literally wipe out portions of an island even before having the Arc Maxim or the Raigo. Because since he was able to, like, put holes inside of Sky Islands with his lightning blast. He was just capable of just like literally leaving holes in Sky Islands. He was also capable of wiping out an entire island on his own. If you want to say that like Enel does scale to like a island cloud, I would probably say like, hey man, yeah, if you think that like he's also as tough as that, Luffy probably just scales above that. Since he was capable of actually like blasting straight through Enel and one-shotting him with a golden rifle. That's kind of where I'm at right now. It's kind of weird, because it's like, One Piece doesn't have, like, the best destructive feats to, like, get an actual quantification for how hard the characters punch. They really don't. And a lot of the cases that, like, people like to bring up with, like, the Sea Kings, it's like, maybe, even if a Sea King survived the knock-up stream, I don't genuinely have to believe that Luffy punches as hard as a knock-up stream, nor do I have to genuinely believe that, like, all Sea Kings are built the same. That could have just been a Sea King that is smaller than other Sea Kings. It could have tanked it. It could have also been a weaker Sea King and it could have tanked it, you know what I mean? It's just not definitive enough for me to, like, just, like, pinpoint and just, like, land on something just because, like, oh, yeah, this is, like, very blatant. Like, it's not. It's not as blatant as people think it is. One Piece, early pre-timeskip scaling, like, before Water 7 and Enies Lobby, is kind of iffy all over the place. Not from a perspective of, like, the characters not having, like, the actual attack potency or it not being believable. More so from it being very open-ended. It's like, you can scale Luffy to all of these different avenues. If you think that Luffy scales to the Raigo, I mean, sure, that's fine. If you think he's country level by, like, Skypiea. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that you're wrong. Again, I don't really think that anybody's wrong with most of, like, the perspective that they seem to have on this. I don't necessarily think that that's necessarily like a wrong take to have. It's just like, I'm just not convinced by it. You know what I mean? We can get power from speed. Speed is weight is supported at least as a minimum. No. Yeah. Yeah. Speed is weight, but it's like, it's mostly like reaction time stuff that like Luffy and the others are doing. And even then, I don't know, man. I'm not, I like, how powerful within the context of One Piece, like, fuck real world physics for a second. Fuck calculations. How powerful would an actual light speed punch from Luffy be within the context of the story, right? Like, if you want to say that Luffy is light speed by, and has light speed attack potency, light speed combat speed by, like, let's say, Long Ring Long, it's like, okay, cool, so his punches are light speed, but, like, what does speed is weight really mean in that regard, right? Like, what does it actually shoot up his power to? You know what I mean? No, I know you're joking. I think Luffy in Chapter 1 was boundless. I mean, if you want to believe that, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. But that's kind of where I'm at, man. It's like, it's weird, man. It's weird. It's like, there's a lot of, like, I don't want to say, like, benefit of doubt, right? Like, I don't want to say, like, there's, like, a lot of benefit of doubt you have to, like, give the characters. Because there's benefit of doubt that you can give in every single series. But isn't Enel heavily damaged by a rejectile, though? I mean, yeah. But he was also reverted back to, like, basically a normal human since Wiper basically shut off his powers. And Enel, like, he wasn't heavily damaged. I don't want to necessarily say he was heavily damaged. You can maybe say that. I think that's fine. But Enel wasn't, like, necessarily heavily damaged. It literally just stopped his heart. The impact was powerful enough to stop his heart, but he also just straight up restarted it. So it means that there was still some level of consciousness in his body if he did that. You know what I mean? Like, there still has to be some level of consciousness in his body, so it's not like it put him down in an instant. And as soon as he basically got up right after that. It's not like the rejectile... Can you restart his heart, then one-shot everybody? Yeah. He restarted his own heart, and then he just basically took out everybody else. The Luffy can go more stronger than ready his... I have no idea what you're trying to say, Peter. I have no idea what you're trying to say there. Okay. So, let's see. Like, just to like clarify this. Luffy also having like these like island to like large island to like country levels of attack potency, etc., etc., etc. Luffy reaching like these points of power. Luffy necessarily like reaching these points of power, like it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily have to be as definitively, but I still don't think his durability matches his AP, but that's your opinion. I mean, did it take him down, though, right? Like, if you take a powerful enough attack to your chest, if you take, like, a powerful enough, like, instant shock blast to your chest, it might stop your heart. It didn't kill him, and he didn't really seem like that bothered right afterwards, right? It's not also a matter of, like, durability, because the rejectile is a shockwave. The rejectile essentially sends out a shockwave. So, like... You know, what am I supposed to tell you, right? For as much as someone might say that, like, you know, well, for as much as somebody might try to say, like, you know, like a rejectile would still be like, you know, raw attack potency and Enel got shot back by it and everything. It's like a rejectile is 10 times more powerful than an impact dial. And we know, at least from Long Ring Long, that an impact dial, even with just a tiny bit of force, I get the dial point just talking about Enel's durability. But it's not really a durability thing, because Enel still got up. What you're trying to reference is endurance. Enel's durability wasn't taken down by it. It sort of just stopped his heart. It was more or less like the shock of it that stopped his heart. It didn't like necessarily one-shot him either, right? Especially since his body was still conscious and he can still like wake himself up, right? Let me just try to find this stuff real quick, right? Like, as soon as Kalgaro lands it, like, first of all, a rejectile is supposed to be 10 times more powerful than a regular impact dial, and we know for a fact that an impact dial, even, it actually, like, builds up the power that you gave it and shoots out more. That's why Luffy, not Luffy, that's why Usopp, in the Long Ring Long race says that, you barely hit it. They basically something along the lines like, you barely hit it or you barely smashed it and it gave us that amount of force. So either you think that, like, Usopp is super fucking strong even when he's, like, barely trying, or the impact dials literally absorb, or, I guess, shoot back more energy than they're given, right? And if you have a rejectile that is being reinforced with a fuck ton of energy, is being reinforced with, like, a fuck ton of impact, a fuck ton of blunt force energy, and it shoots it all back with 10 times the amount of force of a regular impact dial, I don't know, man. I'd say, yeah, it probably enough to catch an L, like, it is a shockwave after all. It is meant to be a shockwave, and yeah, it stopped his heart, but he also just is conscious enough to just simply restart his heart, and yeah, he restarted his own heart, and then he just gets back up, and like, he just doesn't worry about it anymore. Now, could you argue that, like, the rejectile in general is more powerful than, like, let's say, Luffy's punches? Sure, if you think the rejectile is more powerful than the burn bazooka. I mean, let's be honest here, it was supposed to be not Calgara, Wiper. It was supposed to be Wiper's trump card, so you can definitely argue that the rejectile is more powerful than an impact. Sorry, a rejectile is more powerful than, like, the burn bazooka. But if you're gonna believe that the rejectile is more powerful than the burn bazooka, I mean, let's be real here, right? Let's be real here. This is what a burn bazooka can do as well. Like, it's really not that bad on Enel. It really does not look that bad on Enel, right? If you believe that the burn bazooka is not his most powerful weapon and it's the rejectile, and he has consistently made it a case that, like, this is supposed to be his trump card, I mean, what do I tell you? Yeah, right? Like Enel essentially tanked a blast that's more powerful than this, right? And, you know, it's not really to go off on, like, Enel's durability, because, I mean, he was tanking Luffy's punches, which means that he was essentially taking burn bazooka-level blasts straight to the chest from Luffy, punches, kicks, etc., and he was still getting up. It's not really bad on Enel's durability. Like, it's just that Luffy's attack potency is high enough to hurt Enel, but it's not high enough to take down, his endurance, right? Like, durability is really just how much physical damage your body can take before, like, being destroyed, before decomposing, before, essentially breaking down, right? That's what your durability is, right? Endurance is how much pain, how much anguish, how much suffering, how much damage you can take before you physically fall unconscious and can no longer fight. They both kind of go hand in hand, but there are separate things that you have to take into account. He's got decent durability, but trash endurance. I disagree with that. I think Enel's got great endurance. I genuinely think Enel's got great endurance, dude. Considering the number of punches and kicks he was able to take from Luffy, which are at least as powerful as a blast breath. Sorry, like a burn bazooka. I would say, I would say Luffy probably. I would say, yeah, Luffy's probably, not Luffy, Enel, he probably can take a damn good hit. He's also fast enough to keep up with Luffy. I mean, Luffy doesn't, let me look through this real quick again. Oh yeah, no, Luffy literally even lands a battle axe. That was supposed to be one of, like, his finishers all the way back in, basically, like, his strongest finisher from him back in, like, East Blue. Like, I don't know, man. He takes, what, 3 hits from Luffy? Takes 3 hits from Luffy, and he also does, actually, he does it when he's off the thing, right? Most One Piece characters can take a punch like that for way longer. Yeah, but you can't take those for too long. Oh, yeah. Enel gets hit by at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more hits. Yeah. Then he takes a bazooka. 7, 8. He gets hit 8 freaking times by Luffy. Wait, 8 plus the 2 he took before, so he takes like 10 full hits so far. And Luffy gets a giant golden ball that is extremely hot, and mind you, if the golden ball is meant to have been melted or likely melted at a higher degree of heat because it's a larger amount of metal, but let's just say it isn't. I mean, listen, it's also hot enough that, like, just touching wood instantly just turns the wood into... I forgot he got hit that much, yeah. And he still continued, my bad. Yeah. And there's also this part right here where, like, Luffy also has to, like, take hits from the spear and the the heat from the golden ball that he got like covered in. It's hot enough to literally turn wood into it's hot enough to at least turn wood for the moment. It's basically not hot enough to, like, incinerate it. Like, it's even burning right here. It's even burning, like, the ground beneath them. Like, I don't know, man. They got crazy endurance. They had crazy endurance. I just don't know what to say about that. Like, Enel's got pretty decent endurance. He's got pretty decent, like, durability. It's really just comes down to, like, just trying to, like, crack the puzzle of where exactly I think they stand. But I'll be honest. I do think that, like, any of these lightning bolts that he's striking down, Enel seems careless, kind of laid back, but he still leagues above the rest of the arc, right? And you can also argue that Enel doesn't really, like... isn't really... I don't want to say that he's not, like, well-trained, because he clearly knows how to use his abilities, so he must be like a crocodile where, like, he's at least learned to, like, properly utilize his lightning powers. But, like, there's an early point in the arc where, like, Enel is capable of, like, literally putting a hole in the center of Skypiea. Let's see real quick. Like, right here. This is just a lightning blast that Enel is just randomly sending down to those that he basically, like, you know, to those that are talking shit. It's just a massive hole that is just left in the center of the island. It's larger, the beam itself is larger than houses. It's larger than all of these locations. Like, I don't know, man. Enel is kind of crazy. So, like, if you wanted to say that, like, a sky island should be considered, if you wanted to say that, let's say, a sky island should be considered an actual island in terms of size and scale, I mean, look at the shit that Enel's able to do. He has the attack potency to literally put a giant hole in an island. He just doesn't have the range for it, right? His issue isn't damage, it's range. So in that regard, I mean, these giant fucking trees that are able to withstand the force of an island being sent up into the sky, and he's just literally blasting them down to Kingdom Come, you know what I mean? So it kind of gets into a point. Where, like, you have to kind of, like, consider, like, hey, man, Enel might actually have... Island has to be strong enough to support houses and streets, no? Well, the Sky Islands themselves have to be strong enough to, like, withstand houses, streets, etc. I mean, they do have infrastructure throughout, like, the island, right? And basically their ground are the island clouds that they walk on. I'm not here to tell you that, like, an island cloud is as tough as a diamond, just because it is used up of some of the similar components of, like, sea prism stone. But at the same time, what I am trying to tell you is that, hey, man, it can't, like, you can't just assume that they're, like, that these, like, cloud islands are also as weak. Yeah, can't build a house on sand. That's what I'm saying. But you have to at least admit that, like, they're tough enough to at least be able to create all of these structures, etc. So it's like, man, what do you want me to tell you? Like, what exactly do you want me to tell you? It has to be stable and strong enough to withstand it, I agree. And Enel's just capable of putting massive holes in these islands. Like, the holes are big. He just doesn't have the outright range to, like, just wipe it all out in one sheer go. I do think that Enel... You know how people say that, like, Enel doesn't equate to... Like, Enel's attack pose, he doesn't equate to the Raigo? And sure, that might be the case, but at the same time, you can also just argue that Enel isn't that far off. He's already capable of putting holes in the island. It more or less is just a matter of him just building up the lightning necessary to do it all on his own. He just doesn't have thunderclouds to do it, so it's like, if he were to shoot down the islands on his own, he would... Hey, man. He would at least have to have, like, the attack potency to, like, put the holes inside the islands. I don't know, man. Then there's, like, somebody who is also saying, like, okay, right, so Enel has range feats among Logia. Has crazy range feats among Logias, right? But, like, let's consider this for a second. Using observation Haki, right? Using observation Haki from the priests, and knowing that there are levels to Haki, and knowing that all of them are not as good at Haki, they are able to cover they're able to at least cover the upper yard's worth of land in terms of range. The priests are literally capable of looking at the entirety of the upper yard with their observation Haki. Luffy, and that, mind you, that's basically a small island. Imagine having the range to sense and know what everyone and everything is at within the range of an island. As a fodder-ass dude who can't maintain observation Haki up for that long. I thought about it. Enel uses volts to measure his attack strength. Doesn't that mean that his attacks are always as strong as he says they are? Range is gained with Maxim. I don't know if it necessarily translates to it, but only because I don't know exactly how to do the math to scale how powerful, like, his bolts of lightning are. And even then, if, like, you were to get, like, a measurement of this bolts of like, for the volts of lightning that he seems to, like, let out, like, let's say 200 million volt vary, 20 million volt 20 million volt this, L4, XYZ, right? It's kind of weird because it's like, if the amount of volts that those things take would, like, let's say only be, like, building level, I don't know if I would necessarily be okay with, like, just using, like, the volt name for it, right? He's probably just using 20 million volts as, like, probably like a name fallacy or something, you know what I mean? People only shit on Hordy and Enel because they feel like Luffy didn't struggle to get his win, but they're fine with Naruto on average one-shotting his ops or Ichigo doing the same. I mean, hey, it'd be like that, right? It'd fucking be like that. So then you kind of come to, like, this conclusion, right? Where it's like, Enel's able to put giant holds, like, when he says 50 million volt vary, that attack is always the same strength no matter what form he gives it or range he uses it at, right? Like, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if it's, like, necessarily, like, all the exact same thing or if it's just, like, the name of the attack, right? Because, like, his L4 also seems to have, like, different sizes and ranges for this stuff, right? Like, there's one L4 that he, like, shoots out. I forgot who it was. I think it was at Wiper. He shoots down, like, a massive fucking L-Thor, but I think when he shoots an L-Thor at, like, Nami, Usopp, and the others, it wasn't even remotely as big. I mean, Luffy was just the hardest counter of Enel's powers. And yeah, he was the hardest counter, but it's like, people like to use that to say that, like, Enel, like, Luffy wouldn't have won without it. And I mean, maybe. I mean, you can argue it, but who gives a shit, right? Who cares if, like, Luffy was able to beat Enel because of, like, a tight matchup, right? Like, he has said how much volts L-Thor has. No, I don't think he's ever stated how much volts of lightning L-Thor has. As a matter of fact, I would have written it down. I would take the name in terms of volts as their power. Why not? I mean, you can. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it could probably fall down on, like, the context of, like, name fallacies, all I'm saying. Like, this one's like 30 million volt Hino, right? Like, here's Wiper tanking the attack. Is it more powerful? Like, then we have Key 10. Is Key 10 just as powerful? Is it the 30 million volts move? You know what I mean? It's just weird. You see my golden ball thing. It's been shown multiple panels to be larger than Luffy, which would make the metal as dense as gold, heavy as hell. Yeah, I've seen it. No, I did see it. Lowballing the gold ball's weight, since we don't know its exact dimensions, should make it about 10 times heavier than the estimates for both Rock Lee's weights, by the way. Yeah, Probably. How strong is the attack he shoots at Luffy at first? It's capable of putting a hole in a... Yeah, like, look at the size of it. Like, look at the size of these L Thors, man. Yeah, this L Thor is like a straight blast that covers and basically puts a hole... Literally chars... Literally puts a char hole inside of a mountain. I don't know, man. Jambui. Then he has Vari. 100 million volts Vari. I think he had like a 20 million volt Vari at one point. Wanted to bridge with Viper tanking a 30 million, but never mind. I don't know, man. Yeah. It's weird, man. I don't know. I think there's a couple of ways you could scale Enel. I think there are a couple of ways you could scale Enel. Yeah. Maybe actually all the L Thors, I might have been wrong on that. All the L Thors might actually have been about the same size. And I mean, yeah, just look at it. He's basically expanded his range to cover the entirety of the Sky Islands, including like both the upper yard and even the bottom islands. Yeah. It just is that. And like, yeah, they're able to like completely dwarf buildings. These lightning bolts are dwarfing buildings. They're able to take out Giant Jack, which houses a... Yeah, it's I don't know, man. He's able to create a giant black cloud. Like, you could say that this is probably his most powerful attack. Capable of, like, accumulating all of it so that it leaves, like, a giant scar on the planet, on the Earth, etc. But it's like... If we're saying that, like, these portions of land are gone without a trace, I mean, he also took out Burka. Like, Enel is literally stated that Burka vanished without a trace, so Enel must have done that without the Arc Maxim, which would still put his attack potency at like island level. I think like giving Luffy and the others island level by this point is honestly completely fair. I would actually say that like Luffy by this point being island level would probably be fair, considering that his attacks at least seem to be capable of like hurting Enel. And mind you, Enel's attacks don't exactly like one-shot everybody. Like Zoro's still capable of getting up at from like one of his attacks. So are like Wiper, even after like taking down massive like damage. So I mean, I would argue all those bolts hold the same power as if he shot one out of his hands, or better to say, his power doesn't split. That's fair. I think that's a fair comparison. So yeah. Oh no. Asking as to how powerful like these guys are, I'd probably say Luffy's about island level at this point. I'd give him at least island level. I don't know. You can give an L like country level in terms of like range and destruction, but you can give like range, destruction, attack potency, etc. But I would at least give Luffy island level. If you want to say that like he doesn't scale to the Raigo. Alright, that's enough of that. This is me, frozen Luffy. Bah-ha-ha-ha-ha. You were frozen half to death. How can you joke about that? Wah-ha-ha. Was it a good impression? Hey, Luffy, what are you eating? It was perfect. You looked exactly like that. I'd say Enel had help in time to wipe Burka since he got at least his army from there. I guess that's fair. I don't know how. What exactly do you mean by help, though? What do you mean by help and time to wipe out Burka? Because it stated that like Burka was wiped out without a trace. Like there's nothing left there, and none of his men even remotely show the capability of wiping out an entire Sky Island. I'd say it's all Enel, personally. Sukuna would probably beat Spider-Man. Unless you're giving, like, one of the super high interpretations of Spider-Man, like Cosmic Spider-Man, there's nothing he can do. You can maybe say he senses, like, you can definitely argue that he senses the slashes, but Spider-Man has no way around, domain expansion. He just has no way around domain expansion, dude. So to double check, Oda said Enel at his introduction would be a 500 million berry bounty. Rereading through One Piece, I saw a comment on the chapter saying Oda would give, although Enel is really strong, I don't think this bounty would be the same as Luffy post-Dressrosa. 500 million? Probably. The scale that we never talk about, the carpentry on the houses in Arlong Parks picks up. Gotta have a super robust structure to not just fall apart after being lifted off the ground and thrown upside down. That is true. I feel like people don't consider that. As a Spider-Man know-it-all, he has no means to counter domain, but could avoid even the world-cutting slash. I do think he could avoid the world-cutting slash. I wouldn't say that Spider-Man might not be able to dodge that. Doesn't he have like some like light speed like reaction feats, or at least relativistic reaction feats that is close to Ace's bounty? Well, would you make me some coffee? The poe pae. What's pae? It's a tail beat of a giant beast called pae. I caught it. It was 100 meters long. 100 meters. That's amazing. Now it was a piece of cake. You baked it, Chopper. Say my name. Well, of course, you're Captain. Right. My name is Captain Usopp. Huh? What's that? It's a giant frog. It's doing freestyle crawl. Uh-huh. Don't be doofus, Luffy. Frogs can't do the crawl. Turn the ship around. What is that? Hey, everyone, stop. What are we doing? Whoa. Hey, Frog, get away. What are you doing? That is... What is that iron beast? A ship? A vessel shaped like that? Can never run on the sea. Yep. Ace's bounty was given to him in a story or an SBS. I don't recall where Ace's bounty is. By the way, I love Chimney. She's like my favorite side character. Chimney and Gonbei, they're just so fucking funny and cute to me. Just this like derpy ass looking fucking face the entire time. And this dude just constantly... He's a rabbit that goes meow. It's funny as fuck. Super helpful. By the way, the goats of the arc just for simply helping out the Straw Hats and figuring out like what the secret passage was. People want to talk about how far they would have gotten without them, bro. Talk about this. Tracks, they just run below. The train circles through the same place every day, taking riders from island to island. It hauls boats and delivers mail. Test of strength. That's why he didn't run away. He's pretty gutsy, but it's a pain for us. The rail guards keep getting broken. Plus, our customers get worried when they see him. You could reach Saint Poplar, the town of Spring Queens, or Pucci, the gourmet city. How about the Carmen of Faldo? If you're involved with the government, there's another special train you could take. I'm up for gourmet food. We don't have time for that. We're going north from here. Should be going to Water 7, the sea train we just came from. We just saw came from Blue Station on that island. It's a place nice to be. It's a city of water. It's a bustly city known for shipbuilding technology. They're the best in the world. That's right. We decided we'll find a carpenter to join our crew. What's the biggest Naruto frog you think Yokozuna can take? Yokozuna? The biggest Naruto frog? Probably like... I'd have to like look at some actual Yokozuna feats. Bro, somehow I beat Expedition 33 before you, Eon. I mean, I really don't touch the game that often, Lapis. I hope you enjoyed the ending, though. Which ending did you pick? Without spoiling too much, which ending did you pick? I don't know. I just have to go to the final boss. Like, that's the thing. I really just need to head to the final boss. If I play through it tonight, I can probably... Oh, Verso's ending? Cool. If I go through it tonight, I can probably just finish the game and I'll get the platinum trophy. I can literally platinum the game whenever I want. I just have to literally just fight the final boss. And if I just go in there with my Verso, my L build, it's gonna be a one shot anyway. So it's like, why do I go? Why do I have to like? I don't know. I just keep telling myself like it's one of those things that I keep pulling off. I think I have a bad habit of like not finishing things. When it comes to like video games, I have a bad or like TV shows. I have a bad habit of like never finishing them. He gets hit by a train every day for training. That's funny. In Spectacular Spider-Man 158, Peter perceived and understood the infinite information of the universe. That's kind of crazy. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. Living on the edge, fighting crime, spinning webs, swinging from the highest ledge. That's what he said. Swinging from the highest ledge, he could leap above my head. What the fuck is the point of this? I guess it's to get to like the next platform over. Cities on the rise and the city's fixing crimes, leaping up with no supply to riding in the speed of time. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular. Dun, 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 dun. This is amazing. A real industrial city. No wonder the sea train runs through here. Oh, there they are. Spectacular Spider-Man was the best and most deserved one more season. It did deserve one more season. I really do think it was the best, like, animated Spider-Man TV show. It was so fucking good, dude. There's a keeper on the end. What are you doing? All I did was pull on the rope. That was scary. I didn't realize the Mary was in such bad shape. Say, why don't you people fear pirates? Pirates are customers too. Are they really strong? Really? What are you saying? That sounds crazy. Kokoro. Either way, let's visit the City of Water. Yeah, okay. Oh man, speaking of bomb-ass Spider-Man things, you should check out the Kakero Spider-Man. It's from like Japanese 1970s. Let me type that into my phone real quick. Talking about like theme songs, right? Where the fuck's my phone? Oh, it's all the way back here. Come on, I can't pull myself up. Ugh. There it is. Wait, to the tip of my fingers. Ah, there we go. Okay. Let us see. You said Spider-Man. Kakero Spider-Man, right? Kakero Spider-Man. Theme. Wow. Alright, I got it. It's in my things now. The show that deserved more was Transformers Animated. Transformers, the animated series, also 100,000% deserved another season. 100% it did. I agree. I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I actually watched it. When the hell did I watch it? I remember I was watching I was watching the it was, I think it was like, what, last year? Maybe the year before that? I checked out the entirety of like the Transformers animated series on YouTube. I think they actually have all the seasons still on YouTube. You know what's a series that was like super goated? Oh, that's right. State of Play. It's at 2 p.m. 5 p.m. Let's see. Lore over balance. This game has 100% lore accurate abilities. Yeah. What was it? Transformers animated. Yeah. All the complete series is like on YouTube if you guys ever want to check it out. It's pretty damn good. And it takes a nice little approach to like Optimus Prime and the rest of the Autobots. It takes a really interesting approach to them. I like it. Oh, by the way, I've been watching like some 98 Fiancé side series. This shit's crazy. 22K26. Hey, cool. Okay. The 90s animated Spider-Man also needed one more season. At least they got the X-Men 97 continuation showed he got MJ back. Dude, I like that series, but it was just such a fuck shit show with like all the different things, man. All the different things that was popping up. You guys want to know a series that I think honestly deserves a little bit more love? Let me actually pull one up real quick. Metabots. Yo, Metabots? Metabots deserved so fucking much, dude. I love this series, man. I absolutely adore this freaking series, dude. Ah, my childhood. My freaking... Did bots flop or deserve a shot? Man, I think so. I really think Metabots deserved a bit more, dude. X-Men, 97 X-Men did cram a lot into its one season. I'm sure it did. I heard that there was like a lot of... they were actually had like a very like adult topics, like Magneto trying to... Metabunks, yeah. No way you're 33, dude. 33? Expedition 33? Yeah. Anyway. You're in my way, and so... I've decided I'm not paying anything, hey, but thanks to you guys, Khalifa, what's going on? Yes, Mr. Iceberg. It's a customer from Dock 1 who's refusing to pay for the repairs. It's sexual harassment. Yeah, that is sexual harassment. Mister, it's not a good idea to annoy craftsmen. Ooh. Boss, oops, sorry. Hey, where are you going? Shing. Oh, sorry. Are you picking a fight? What do you know who you're dealing with? Darn it. Hey, did you test the... Hey, did you test that cannon? Or not yet? Darn it. What's all with all of you? Okay. The... Galley-La shipwright company is full of shipwrights who are not afraid of pirates and easily deal with a crew that has 36 million berry bounty. How did you survive the gommage? That's what I'm saying. Bro, surviving the gommage. Cuts you down with my plot powers, Lapis. Plot-related abilities, plot-related resistances, and what have you. Honestly, Kaku sprinting through Water 7 was so cool. I agree. I think that Kaku is really... I think that Kaku and a lot of, like, CP9 characters... Honestly, they're pretty fucking badass. Like, all things considered, they are kind of badass, especially, like, during the introduction. It just sucks, because it's like, man, I kind of wish they weren't villains. Sometimes I kind of wish that Kaku at least wasn't a villain. She seems like such a nice, proper dude. Trying to make a point. Rental bull shop. It says bull... I don't know, a bulldog maybe? No way. Excuse me, I want to rent the bull. What's he? 3? Welcome, hover, how many people? 3. Which bull do you want? And ranks are Yagura, Rabuka, and King. I guess if there are 3 of you, 2 Yagura will be sufficient. Okay, grill nicely. Where are your conversation? They're guided by a log. Yeah. We'll get you... Well, to get to the point, that's a bull over there. The Yagura bull. You'll find them all over. Here in front of the city. Road passages. Yeah. Just how long were they posing as shipwrights? I think they were posing for, like, what, 5-6 years? Something like that. They were, like... It was something like 6 to 10 years. Something like that. It's like 5 to 10 years. Something like that. That fish pulls the boat? Not so much pulls. It lets you ride on its back. It's like a saddle horse. It's like a coach. Okay. See the fish tank over there? It's trying to... Anyway, try it out. It's great. 2 Yagura bulls will be 2,000 berries. That's not bad. Moo. They're cute. Yeah, they're horse-like fish. It's taking a while. Can it handle a heavy load? Oh, it's strong. You could even use it to move a house. Oh, it's strong. You could even use it to move a house. What do you have inside? Gold treasure? Oh, funny. In any case. See? Whoa, I'll take some. No way. You're awfully cheeky. Luffy, don't flaunt it. What a shock. There'll be 1 million berries for 2 Yagura bulls. You just up the price, but say there's currency exchange here. Yeah, there's your shop, but probably doesn't know and have enough cash to exchange for a huge pile of gold like that. You should go up to Main Street to the shipbuilding. Let's go, Yagura. Moo. Apparently a Yagura is strong enough to pull a house. I feel like if it weren't for Lucci, Kaku wouldn't be bad, but he's just loyal to him. I don't even think it's like him just being loyal to Lucci. I think it's just him being loyal to the government in general. I mean, there were orphans that were essentially trained to be, you know, freaks, assassins, and what have you. Looks like a residential district. The town is really centered around the canals. There's a hill. Are we going against the current? Will that be okay? Oh, wait, we're taking the wrong road. Yahoo! It works even uphill. You're pretty good, guys. There are canals even in the rooftops, but this is the wrong road. We'll have to take to the shopping area. Well, Rush, let's take a leisurely tour. Now we're going downhill, huh? We're going to take a... These guys are real smart. Well, you look at that. Hey, look at the huge bull. Oh, whoa, he's scary. Or it looks like he's gonna eat us. What's that? Masks, they're beautiful and opulent. Moo, what's the matter? Hey, guys, what's going on here? Whoa, can I get some of that? Moo, you're hungry? Love to eat the water meat, even though it's people food. Water meat? I'll take 10 of those. It's so tender, yummy. It's good. Let me try one. Nope, buy your own. Luffy just like fucking around in the background. Meat, yep. Now into the building. It's going shipwright. Please enter through the gate until 1 minute ago. It's going to start. I see. This place is even better. Robin, where's Robin? She's not aboard. She's not here. She went earlier. She went out earlier with Chopper. She had something to do, some shopping to do. Cripes was boring. I guess I'll go do some shopping to guard the ship. He's already asleep or whatever. We're here, the world's best shipbuilding center. Water Seven's Main Street. This place is more land than water. I guess it makes sense now. Whoa, it's also huge. By the way, I think I'd like to live in. Man, I think it'd actually be a fucking pain in the ass now that I think about it, live in Water 7, dude. Because, like, you have to essentially move every couple of years. You essentially have to move. It's like, imagine trying to build a life, and then all of a sudden, like, 20 years from now, you have to, like... Yeah, at this point, you might as well just get one of the houses, like, up here, dude. I just learned Batman fought Elmer Fudd. He looks normal, but has the tone, logic, abilities. With a double barrel, he never reloads, and crazy shooting skills. Crazy tune logic. Okay... Hey, it's Lucci. He's so cool. Where's Polly? Lulu, too. So gallant. He's a man's man. What is he? We're talking about a real man. It's got to be Tilestone. Hey, mister. What happened here? The pirates were starting up trouble over Dock 1, and the craftsmen had the usual carpenters beat up pirates. I take it you're a tourist. This is just a crowd of onlookers. The residents here adore the shipwrights of the Galley-La company. Their strong skill and their pride of the Water 7. Yeah. Who are you? Identify yourselves. Identify yourselves. Pirate hunters orders are hiding bounties. We can silence even crying children. We're the Franky family. We're going to take your $60 million berry head. 60 million berry head. We'll hide out on board and run out the rest of your crew. It's got to be rolling. Get him. Okay, lucky you. More like unlucky you. Ooh, 2 sword style. Rhino cycle. Okay. Water 7, Backstreet shopping area. The water is so clear and the town is so pretty. There are a lot of pedestrians in the area too. Whoa, look at that. A shop full of faces. Masks. We've been walking around in those masks. Funny looking faces. Bookstore. Mind if I stop by? Let's not at all. Let's go in. I've observed people's moods and listened to them talk. How do you know? I've heard people. Yeah. Can pick it up. Tee. I'm with CP9. Robin. I'm heading in. I'm in human form. It should be okay. Oh, what a fine mask. What kind of costume is it? Oh, I'm a human reindeer. Oh, as long as you're having fun, huh? Robin? Okay, what? 100 million berries? Not so loud. You people will hear me. You're gonna give us that much in cash? Luffy should be quiet. Well, it's certainly worth that much. Its historical value, its purity, this gold is amazing. Well, with that much, we'll be able to fix the merry-go, and we'll be able to spend the rest on a bronze statue. You're not buying that, right? If you agree to the price, I'll prepare the money and... Hey, what's up? What's the matter? 3 things to say, Mr. Appraiser. 1, I forgot to tell you about it, but he has 1 million berry on his head. 2, I don't agree with your appraisal. 3, if you lie one more time, I'll scalp you. That's all. 300 million? Am I dreaming? Our adventure with Skypiea finally paid off. I'm fabulously rich. You mean we are? Come again. 300 million. Stop swindling. Stop swinging around like that, Luffy. Do I have to carry around 100 million? Yeah. I had an idea what it was worth, and then he offered us 100 million. You're such a softie. He was going to take advantage of you. Whoops. Well, it all went to the canal. Looking at that. Whoa, that was close. I'm gonna punch you. I'll break your teeth. I'm very sorry. What's good? What's good? One smart. Shouldn't have dropped it off at the ship. I'm still hurt. Yeah. After all, water cakes. It says by 1,000. We're back. There's an entrance to the shipbuilding. Mr. Iceberg is there. Hi there. Not again. You're an outsider. Let's talk outside. Only person eyes are allowed inside the factory. What is your business at the dock? What are these things for, by the way? What are these things for? They're like to scoop up stuff? I don't know, man. Right, I'm here. This man's Usopp. I'm right here. This man's nose is square. Oh yes, I would like to see Mr. Iceberg. It's an introductory letter from Mr. Kokoro at ship station. Are you middle-aged? I am, but 23. Well, you sure talk old. I'm told that often. Do you know him, Mr. Iceberg? You know him. Why, certainly. Mr. Iceberg is the mayor of Water 7. He's that, wow, he's that important? Yeah, for Galley-La company. Wow, is he superhuman? He manages the sea train. Anyway, there's not a soul in the town that doesn't know him in Water 7. Okay, so whose nose is stranger? Usopp's? Oh, Kaku's. Definitely Kaku's. Like, Kaku's nose is square-shaped. I don't know what to tell you. Where did you dock? Over at Rocky Cape. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I'll jot over and assess the condition of your ship. That way things will go faster when you speak to Mr. Iceberg, and you can discuss the cost. Jot over on a jogger. If I did that, you'd have to wait forever. Just stay here for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So fast. Okay. From Galley-La, you can head to Rocky Cape from Galley-La and back. In 10 minutes. That's kind of a crazy feat, right? Like, we don't know the exact distance, but he's capable to essentially, like, run through an entire city in less than 10 minutes and head back. I'm torn between wanting Usopp to be stronger, not wanting him, since only being human, if durable as hell. That makes him trying to fight Luffy that much more interesting. By the way, Enel is my main in that Bleach game, and I absolutely dog stomped Trenton with it. Who's Trenton again? So fast. Hey, wait. Huge drop. Hey, he fell. Hey, don't worry. He runs around. They call him the Mountain Wind. That's Galley-La. Dock 1. Carpentry Foreman Kaku. Okay. I'd love to go on a date with Nami and Robin in a town like this. Holding flowers in each hand would be nice. That was a message for Drake. Oh, my bad. Let's see, it's nuisance to have to walk to another dead end. I'm not lost, am I? Certainly a swordsman. Robin, it's me, Robin. Oh, what happened? Huh? Usopp? What's with this town or something wrong with me? Uh-huh. Okay, that's the ship. Excuse me, I see it's badly damaged. Back in the day, I thought Kaku would be the shipwright. Same. I see it's badly damaged. Oh, it's just Usopp. This mast needs to be repaired too. Who the heck are you? I'm sorry, did I wake you? Jeez, that was a shock. I can't believe he jumped from up there. I can't let you underestimate my workforce. In order to build up a ship quickly and efficiently, one can't just have an average body and mind. By the way, Khalifa, yes, I've completed the background check. Straw Hat Luffy, add up to 239 million berries. Strong gang, start on East Blue, and currently 7 crew members. They know all about us. I see, welcome. Iceberg, and I just picked up this pet mouse. Its name is, well, Tyrannosaurus. I'll need some rodent food in a cage. It's alright. Oh, I must commend you, Khalifa? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Also, in 10 minutes, you have a lunch meeting with the Hotel Chiza. Right after their appearance, then you'll have a Major Bimini Pucci, Mayor Bimini of Pucci, the government city, and then they'll intubate you. Which any other Octomons you'll need to go over. I don't want to. Then I'll cancel everything. Hey, are you sure about that? I'm powerful enough to be able to do what I like. I really am. You're a total failure as a mayor. Pretty spoiled, but isn't this guy? He told us. Okay. How dare you? What the heck are you doing? That was scary. How dare you speak about the world's foremost ship engineer in that manner? Old Lady Kokoro, check out their ship for them. Kokoro, check out their ship for them. What? Please fix our ship. We can pay. The Marigo's taking a beating in all our travels. Please, mister? Sure, that was easy. Are you sure? Yeah. Then why did you tear it up? The kiss mark was creepy. Old Lady Kokoro and I have been drinking buddies for a long time. She's basically your mother, bro. She's basically your mom. What do you mean? Well, in any case, Kaku has already gone to assess your ship. The process is already underway. Today is boring. Come on, I'll show you around the factory. The attitude for someone who just canceled all his appointments. Oh yeah, the money. Look, it's a fortune, huh? Hey, he saw us. Hurry. Usopp, wait. What are you guys doing? Robbers, get back my 200 million berries. Please wait. Looks like 200 million in here. Hey, thanks. Don't be rude to him. Don't provoke Khalifa. When she's upset, she doesn't aim well. She really gave it a good... She really gave it good to you. What the hell did Usopp... Oh, he did put down the briefcases. That's crazy. Hold it, Polly. You're not getting away. I'm asking you just a bit longer. Hey, give it back. Polly's being chased by bill collectors. They're persistent. Yagura, rope. Turn over. He's a shipwright. I've got to borrow the Yagura for a little while. Run. Turn. Okay. Dang it, you got away as long as we please. Yes, thank goodness. It's one of the shipwrights. Hey, that money belongs to us. Oh, hey. You mean this? Oh, hey, come back. What the heck are you doing? I won't run away again. Get it? Let go of me. I finally got my hand on a ton of money. Yeah, on a ton of money. Remember this, Lucci? Don't pay back your debts to other people's money, you fool. I found the money on the ground. They're back. Aren't you glad, Usopp? This was somebody else's problem. That was our 200 million berries. Yeah, anyway, weren't you the first one to run after it? Because the pigeon guy said I'll go. Let's deal with our fools. Okay, okay, okay. Yo, this is shit. But who were those strangely dressed guys? They were the Franky family, ship dismantlers, dispensers. They didn't look like honest men. They're bounty hunters on the side, so when they find out pirates have entered the city, they're a real nuisance. If they do away with any pirates that come into town, they get their boat seized, dispensing the boat and selling usable timber. The Franky is the Franky family's business. That's so cruel. It's like they want to dismantle the entire pirate population. If, well, become one, they won't be, ha ha ha. But they didn't seem that strong. Those henchmen, sorry for the trouble this idiot has caused. It talked again. Cuckoo, come on and apologize to the Murray. The pigeon is talking. Looks like he's speaking for the man in the hat. Anyway, we got a good news. We have to go back. Hey, did that money belong to you? I picked it up for you. Oh, thank you. How about a finder's fee? Sorry about that. He's racked up so much debt from gambling. He's greedy and has no manners. The talking pigeon. You jerk, Lucci. I'll never forgive you. Rope action, bowline knot. Okay. Huh? Okay, he throws him. Hey, they don't need to get that serious. This always happens. Whoa, take a look at that. He only used his arm to absorb the impact. Okay, the crew really should handle their money better. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking how to downgrade my OG San Andreas at the moment. Are we talking about CP9? One ear for Eon, one ear for Guide. Sorry, no, you're fine. Take your time, man. Do whatever it is you need to do. Lucci really had a talking pigeon for no reason. Maybe he just didn't want to talk to them. He had nothing interesting he had to say to them. Just have some powerful fingers. What's the deal with the shipwright? You guys with the goggles. Think about it for a second. The person who made fun of you, provoked you, was the pigeon. I don't care about that. Lucci's the one who hit me. The pigeon can't hit you, so he made the guy do it. Is that one of the drip gods of One Piece? You're saying this is drip? Are we saying this is drip? I mean, I guess. I mean, is this drip chat? So did Lucci train the pigeon to talk for him, or was he puppeting it somehow? I don't think he was puppeting it, because the pigeon does still, like, speak technically. Although I do think that's kind of crazy. Hey, you want to fight? Bring it on. Stop, Polly. Sorry for causing the fun. I'm Rob Lucci. I'm Hattori the Pigeon, and this is Rob Lucci. We work here. Pleased to meet you, Cuckoo. So he just almost represents a human. I know it's ventriloquism, isn't it? Oh, really? That's what you're doing? You're the one who's doing the insults? Really? No, it's nothing special, Cuckoo. That's right. This guy can't talk normally. He's a weirdo. Whoa, what's wrong with you, woman? How shameless. Your legs are showing too much. This is a man's workplace. How can you dress like that? You've got to be kidding me. Calm down, Polly. Whoa, Khalifa, you're wearing scandalous clothes again. What's that? He's a weirdo, too. Strangely becoming boats. 5 docks. Yeah. He's rocking the drunk dad that fell asleep watching TV fit. That's what I'm saying. He comes home from the mines. All he wants is a TV dinner, a beer, and to sit back in front of the TV, lounge back on his couch, and knock the fuck out. That's the type of man Rob Lucci is. Black suit, white suit, yeah. Dock wanders where the Galley-La company's strength is concentrated. We take Our most difficult request. Whoa! Wow. Really huge. Yeah, wow. Don't you dare disrespect Nami's Water 7 fit. No, Nami's Water 7 fit is fantastic. I love this fit. It's huge. The shipyard is even more amazing when you see it up close. Yeah. Gillian, who's that for? It's full of workmen. Oh, it's Mr. Iceberg, your company. Mr. comes to examine the hull. Yeah. How about it? Our skill means everything to this city. Long ago, the shipwright industry was just beginning, and the 7 shipping building companies competed for one another. With one another, he charmed the workmen with his brilliant shipbuilding techniques. He combined the 7 shipbuilding companies into one, and 5 years ago, he started the Galley-La company. So they've been working with them for at least 5 years. His passion and skill for shipbuilding hasn't diminished, and the workmen haven't lost their respect for him. The workmen have their pride, so they don't back down to either pirate or authority. That's the sort of place this is. I heard you're an amazing carpenter. Want to be a pirate with me? Hey, what's he saying? How rude. Well, you don't have a single carpenter on your ship. That's right, we don't. Came to this island to get our shipwright and to find comrades. There are tons of shipwrights here, but there aren't any who would want to sail on a pirate ship. If there was any of them who wants to go, you can take them. Wow, really? Wow, you're really generous. How about you, mister? Well, I can't. I'm the mayor. So what? By the way, is there a woman named Nico Robin on your ship? There is. There is. She's really smart. Kaku, where were you? I'm assessing the ship, and our customers are here. Wow, Demi, Culver, and Cannon. That's so long. What's that? Probably expensive. How the fuck did they get in? You're the person from earlier. Did you take a look at his ship? Yeah, I took a look at it. Oh, Mr. Iceberg, you're here. I know the situation. Come down, Luffy. Is it true? I don't lie about my work. Usopp? Where's Usopp? I don't know, but he looks like he left the cases and the money here. It's all right done. So how much is it going to cost? We can pay any amount. We've got plenty of money. And if possible, we'd like to make it more durable, and some cannons would make it faster. They make it faster. Also add some wonderful decorations on the hull to redecorate the rooms. Okay. Nothing bad happened. That's interesting. Iceberg picked Galley-La name because he was curious since they were learning about the Galley-La giant shipwrights. Galley-La giant shipwrights. Galley-La One Piece. Ancient warrior group of over 100 giant shipwrights from Elbaf. Not much is known about the Galley-La, except that its members are wielded large hammers. Also, some members included ancient giants. This group overall appeared rather enigmatic. Homeland and Herald. Roxy's epic somehow had knowledge of the Galley-La and was confident that they still existed somewhere, using Linland's connections in order to locate the whereabouts. According to Rox, having a group under him would be instrumental for his ambitions to rule the world. According to Rox, the Galley-La were incredible destroyers, and if they were teamed up with Herald, they would both control and possibly order them. At one point in the past, the distant island, they were eventually captured and imprisoned. They were sent a letter back to communicate the predicament. Ja Rule, letter in possession, presumed that they were captured by the world government. It is unknown what happens afterwards. The rumors of the frozen remains being stashed somewhere, spreading pirate circles. Okay. Yeah. Wow. That's true. Sure, the battle damage to your ship is far too great. You probably had a grand journey. Yeah, we climbed mountains, flew, we got skewered, a lot happened. We want you to fix her. Is it going to take too long? Nope. I'm going to give it to you straight. Your ship can't be fixed, not even with our skills. Huh? Even if we were to repair it, the chances it would reach the next island is 0. No way, but she's been sailing just like always. Was it the keel? Yes, it was badly damaged. Mary, will you really never sail again? This is bad. I'm sorry, Sanji. I was so absorbed in the books. You don't need to apologize. I hope nothing. I've been explaining. I'm talking about being sick. Aokiji was sad. I can't get it out of my head. Huh, what did you mean? Regret that day? Yeah. You can't fix the merry-go. Why not? Aren't you supposed to be great carpenters? The money isn't an issue. Look, we've got all you could need. That's not it. Money's not the problem. No matter how much you're willing to pay, the ship can't be returned to its original state. I'm surprised you were even able to get the ship in that condition. I'm quite impressed, actually. What do you mean? What's wrong with the going merry? Do you know what the keel is, you lewd woman? It's the bottom of the ship, right? It's the support that extends the stern and from stem to stern. The wooden beam is the most crucial part of a ship. That is the foundation of all shipbuilding. The stem post, the stern post, the structure, the supporting structures like brackets and deck beams. Every piece of lumber is positioned around the keel at the ship's core. That's what makes it a ship. It'd be interesting. What if the Mary wasn't too damaged and could have been upgraded? I don't know. Would you guys have been okay with the Mary just getting upgraded, and not becoming and not just be like becoming the Thousand Sunny? Because like, you have to kind of consider it from the perspective that like the Going Mary as a ship is still extremely small, even in comparison to other large ships, right? Like, the Going Merry Go is at least like what, 3 times smaller than the Thousand Sunny. You know what I mean? It's like 3 times smaller than Thousand Sunny, and it's not because like the Thousand Sunny has like all these crazy things with it. You know, like the Gao Cannon, the Kude Burst. It's more so just because like there's only so much you can do to a small ship. I think that's like my biggest issue. There's really just only so much you can do to a small ship. The Mary lives on in the little Mary Franky made, yeah. Height 11 meters, length 13 meters, yeah. Would Doflamingo or Deku? I think Deku has better AP, but Doflamingo has way better speed. I mean, that's kind of your answer right there. What can Deku really do? Right? Not to mention, it's not even just like what Deku can really do. It kind of boils down to like, how can Deku even force his way out of like Doflamingo just covering him with his strings and basically just like puppeteering him? That's what makes it a ship. The keel is the foundation of the ship. It's the very essence of the ship. Once it's been seriously damaged, there's no way to replace it. It would be the same as building a ship from scratch. No one can repair it any further. Your ship is just waiting to die. It's nothing more than a stack of wood. Hey, you don't have to say it like that. Why not? It's the truth. Then build me a ship again from scratch. Build me the merry-go. That's impossible as well, Ku. We can make a similar ship, but no one can make two of the exact same ship. In other words, no two identical ships exist. What do you mean? Are there 2 trees in the world that grow exactly the same? A sailing vessel is built almost entirely of wood. A ship, the size of a ship, its curves, everything about it depends on the character of the wood. Even using the same blueprint, no 2 ships are ever built identically. And even if we did build a ship, the overwhelming sensation that it is a totally different vessel would be felt by the crew who knew the old ship. Then it's really true. We'll never be able to sail the seas in the merry-go again. That's about the gist of it. You can either wait for it to sink or you can dismantle it. There it is. There, it's complete. The pirate ship, the merry-go. Reach the ship, the end of the lifespan. Just accept the nearby. No, I don't think I intend to change the ship. Change ships, Luffy. Our ship is the merry-go. If we make repairs, we'll be able to sail. Keep sailing. She sailed smoothly today. And suddenly, I would believe you. You only think because you don't know what a stubborn ship she is. So you're willing to sail until she sinks. I'm amazed you call yourself the ship's captain. This conversation is over. Thank hard on it. Yo. You know, there's something here that like, there's something here. There is something here that Iceberg is saying that I genuinely fondly agree with. How many Saiyans would you need to out-eat Luffy? You probably need at least like 3 or 4 Saiyans. You probably need like maybe 5 or 6 Saiyans, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe like 5 or 6 of them. I don't know. You throw in like 5 or 6 Saiyans, all with like the same level of appetite as like Goku, you might be able to argue that. I feel like this was the better option because just swapping to a new ship helps avoid taking on so many upgrades that the original Mary would be unrecognizable. That's what I'm saying. It's like, is it really still the Going Mary if you have to like upgrade it and throw in all this extra shit around it just to like, you know, just to still have like the same ship be made of the same wood, etc., etc., etc. I understand that Lucci is talking through the pigeon, but why is the pigeon doing all the gestures? Because the pigeon's the one that's talking. It's not Lucci. Lucci. One Piece. Lucci Lambrusco. Hattori. Having known each other for 20 years, Hattori is the closest relationship Lucci has, despite its infamous reputation as a mass murderer. The pigeon has been shown both loyal and unafraid and stays alongside the moon in situations. When Lucci's not fighting, he's usually perched on his right shoulder. Lucci would have to express some emotions to blend in with Zion while on the cover, but Hattori did this for him as his ventriloquist dummy. This allowed Lucci to be somewhat sociable while remaining emotionless. While Hattori reverted to being an ordinary pigeon after Lucci was revealed to be an assassin, he occasionally exhibits human traits, such as drinking from a cup. Yeah, so the bird is literally talking for him. Actually talks at that time? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Do you think the Sunny is a fitting upgrade and iconic, but the Mary had such soul to it? Well, that's the thing, right? The Mary is the soul of the ship. The Thousand Sunny is the powerful vessel that it needs to be, right? Do you think Luffy met Rocks? He probably liked him. Yeah, I think Luffy would actually probably get along with Rocks to an extent. Probably be like, it might be a situation with like Eustace Kid where like they at least respect each other. They're at least like each other as like guys. They probably respect each other. But yeah, they have the same headstrong mentality. Is it because like in a sense, the more you grow and mature, the more you agree that Iceberg than back then? Well, not necessarily, right? You got to look at it like this perspective. And this actually probably goes back to a conversation that we were having yesterday, right? Luffy is talking to people that have experience, years and years of experience as shipwrights. They are essentially telling the pirates, they're essentially telling the Straw Hat crew that what they are saying is the truth, right? They are giving Luffy and Nami the most not emotionless. I don't want to say emotionless because I do feel like they're saying things fairly, but they're also saying it like, yo, listen, this is just like the hard truth of it, right? Sometimes people don't like hearing the hard truth of it, right? He says right here, your ship is just waiting to die. It is nothing more than a stack of wood. Hey, you don't have to say things like that, right? They're giving them the cold, hard truth of the matter, right? Nami doesn't like hearing the cold, hard truth about it. Luffy says, build me a ship from scratch, right? They're explaining why no matter what you do with the ship, it will never be the merry-go again. You will never feel like it's the merry-go again. You expecting to have another ship isn't going to bring back the merry-go. The merry-go is a ship that is essentially going to die. It is just not going to last that long. So what does Luffy say? I don't intend to change the ship. It's our ship. It'll keep going. You're not going to sit here and tell me she's not seaworthy. He doesn't believe them, even if what they say is true. These are some of the world's best shipwrights. Even if you want to say, well, it's an appeal to authority, if you want to be combative about it and say, hey man, well, this is just appeal to authority. Just because you guys are some of the world's greatest shipwrights doesn't mean you know jack shit about our ship. Our ship is special. Our ship is the type of ship that will go through to the end of the world without ever truly breaking down. She's willing to hold at it. And what does Iceberg say? I'm amazed that you call yourself the captain, the ship's captain. This conversation's over. Think hard on it, right? It's not really so much about maturing, but it's more so, it's not entirely the idea of like, as you grow older, you kind of agree with these level of mentalities. That's not so much the case. The case here is that sometimes people don't want to hear the cold, hard truth of it, and sometimes they will be negligent towards the things that you say, even if you have every bit of reason, because at the end of the day, the average human being is going to go with an emotional stance for what they believe in over a logical stance, right? Luffy is hearing the words that are coming from professionals and saying, you guys don't know the jack shit. It's like talking to a professional chef, for example. My mom and I, for example, we've recently been watching, recently we've been watching Hotel Hell and Kitchen Nightmare, right? We've just been watching reruns on YouTube, right? And during these shows, Gordon Ramsay, one of the best chefs in the world, or at least one of the most popular, or at least one of like the most well-known chefs in the world, somebody who has decades and decades of experience, he goes to these places, he goes to these restaurants, and he's trying to help, and he tells them the cold, hard truth of the matter. You guys don't have a standard. You guys have your food that's spoiling away. You guys have a crew, a crew of waiters, waitresses, of chefs that just don't work together. There are many reasons why their business is failing, and he gives them the cold hard truth. And very often, what do the owners say? They get emotional about it. They say, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Your experience means jack shit. I don't care what you are saying. I'm just not gonna believe you. And what does Gordon Ramsay say? Well, you're a fool. You're not choosing to believe cold hard facts because it makes you upset that the things we say are true. You want to, and so you want to just say, it doesn't matter. Gordon is like one of the most successful restaurants, and it's funny how they act like he knows nothing. Exactly. It's the same thing. It goes back to like a discussion we were talking about yesterday where like people don't like hearing things about things that they like, right? Where like, oh, how dare you talk bad about Sonic 06? How dare you talk bad about Overwatch? How dare you talk bad about Nintendo, etc.? People simply don't want to listen to things. So when you see that a person, when you can, as an adult, the more and more you guys grow, hopefully the more and more you'll understand that there are points in time where there's just no point in having a conversation with people because they're not willing to listen to reason or logic, right? And I think that's kind of like my takeaway from this, right? That it's that, and this is a very literal example of it, where Iceberg is essentially sitting there, not really talking about it too much. He's just basically letting his men talk about it. He trusts his men's capabilities. He is the best ship right there. He trusts in his men's capabilities. He trusts in their ability to tell, hey, these are the conditions that the ships are in. This is what we can do. This is what we can't do. And in this case, they're telling them the ship is not capable of being fixed. It's just not. It's the life and soul of the ship. The keel is the heart of the ship and it's fucking broken. Luffy and the others don't want to listen to it right now. Nami says you don't have to say things like that. You don't have to call our ship just a hunk of wood. She doesn't like hearing that because she does have an affection for the Mary. And Luffy says, I won't stand for this. I don't care. You guys aren't trustworthy as shipwrights. You're not going to tell me she's not seaworthy. And what is Iceberg's only reply? I mean, how can you call yourself the ship's captain then? This conversation's over. There's no more point in having a conversation. When you reach a point like this in your lives where you're having a conversation with somebody, it doesn't have to be about power scaling. It doesn't have to be about anything specific, right? When you're having a conversation with somebody or when somebody's having a conversation with you about something that you genuinely love, something that you have genuine affection for, nostalgia, etc., or you're having a conversation with somebody about something that they have affection, nostalgia, or love for, sometimes they're just not going to listen to reason. This is Oda essentially telling us that, like, in some cases, some people in some cases are just not in a place, mentally, physically, etc., where they're going to listen to reason and logic. Yes, I agree with Nami. In certain senses, and even I'll agree with some of the things I said yesterday, right? You don't have to say things in such a brutal way sometimes, right? There are sometimes things that you can say that they can be logical, it can be truthful, but it doesn't have to be said so harshly, right? For example, he doesn't have to say it's nothing more than a stack of wood. Paulie has no affection for this ship. He doesn't know what the merry-go has been through, right? But Nami does, right? She knows the experiences that she's had with the ship, that the crew has had with the ship. That's why they have this situation. So it's not Iceberg's place to really tell them, like, you guys are fucking idiots and you guys are stupid. All right, then just don't get your ship fixed. That's it. Like, fuck you guys. No, he's just saying the conversation's over. Just think about it. And that's all you can say sometimes. This is why a lot of the times I tell you guys, if you're having a conversation with somebody that you feel like is coming from a genuinely disingenuous place, where you feel like this conversation is just going to be a constant back and forth, a constant disingenuous back and forth, that's why I say just leave the conversation where it's at. There's no point in continuing a conversation with somebody if you two just aren't going to be able to reach any level of... Just any level of... of common ground. You guys are going to reach any common ground, then it just comes down to, well, all right, the conversation's over. Just think about it. Just think about the things I said. And if they don't, it's fine. You just continue to not have a conversation with them. I like this. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. As someone who is closer to his 30s than he is to his 20s, I definitely look at the words that he says here, and they definitely do speak to me. I definitely do think that he has a very very good perspective on all of this. I really do think he does. It's like, yeah, you gotta sometimes just move ahead. They've been so headstrong in their beliefs for so long without hearing another opinion that they think it's my way or the highway. Correct. The biggest thing about all of this is how people still say that Luffy has no character growth. Yeah, no, he does though. He does though. He as a captain had to understand that as a captain you have to make tough decisions. The Mary can no longer travel by sea. It's just not possible. The ship is physically incapable of doing it. You can fix a person. You can patch a broken limb. You can fix a broken leg, but you can't fix the very essence of the ship. I think the issue was they saw the Mary as a crewmate and they would be abandoning a crewmate while the shipwright sees it as just a ship. I think Iceberg understands the latter when he fixes the Mary. Yeah, I think he understands the latter, but that's because he understands shipbuilding to a different degree than all of the other shipwrights, and I guess that's one of the reasons why he's the best shipwright in Water 7 besides Franky. I also love what you just said. Iceberg not needing to be so harsh is reflective with how Luffy breaks the news to Usopp in the same way. Correct. There are ways to vocalize things that where you don't exactly have to shit on the thing that people love. Do not misunderstand. Even this is something that I still struggle with, right? Sometimes even I let my own emotions get the best of me and I say things in a very harsh manner because in all honesty, it just reaches a point where it's like, I've had enough. Why the fuck should I continue to go with this farce, right? But some people don't like hearing that. Some people want you to at least be able to say things with some level of respect because they have love for these things, right? It's something that we all have to like just sort of work towards and reach a mentality that like, hey, listen, we just can't reach common ground. It's probably best to not have a discussion at this point. That's the wrong way to use the appeal to author fallacy. It's only a fallacy if the position of the authority is unrelated to the topic of discussion. I know, but some people would often like to use that as a thing, right? This is Iceberg. Iceberg isn't heartless towards the ship, but I think he looks at ships like horses. Would you ride on one until it dies purely out of sentimentality? And yeah, and that's the thing. You can't really like force something that just can't keep moving to, you know, push on ahead. It's just unrealistic, and at that point, it's almost as if you are being selfish. For example, if someone saw a professor in history and then it means that the professor is smart, meaning that they must be right if they say something about computers. I get what you mean. But yeah. Guys, I do have to step out. I think I'm just gonna leave it early today. We'll really go in towards the scaling tomorrow. Actually no, tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. I'll stream with you guys again on Monday then. I'm not gonna have time tomorrow because I'm gonna be out all day. You think it would be a better thing for everyone if all people just admit their flaws and just say, yes, I agree, we can just agree to disagree and go about our day? I think that's honestly one of the better ways to go about things. I think that should be the way that people go about things, you know. And here's the thing, things even in the moment can they can be heated, and you can just say we can agree to disagree, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't come back to a topic of conversation later with more level heads and say, you know what, I was wrong about these things, you were right about these things, but at the same time, I was also right about these things and you were wrong about these things, right? It's about reaching common ground. It's not like I've always been saying, not everything in this world is black and white, and that's one of the things that I kind of hope that I can really, like a message that I can kind of really just spread throughout the channel, right? You have to just think about things, not just emotionally, but also not just completely logically, right? There comes a point where you have to think about power, you have to, not power, you have to think about things from like a completely emotionless perspective, but it's not a bad thing to also throw in the emotions that another person might be feeling when you're having a discussion, right? It becomes hard to like find this proper common ground between both sides of the scale and to find like a how do I put it? I would actually say that at times it can be very difficult to find like, you know, a proper perfect mix of things, but it doesn't even have to be perfect in that regard. You just have to sit there as a person and say, well, you know, where are we both coming from, right? Look at it from a third person's perspective. Where are you coming from, right? Okay, you're coming from these sides. Where is the other person coming from? What is the impasse that you're trying to reach? What is the impasse that is preventing you? What is the impasse that is preventing you both from trying to reach the next stage of the conversation? And then deduce what it is, find what it is, and then tackle it together. Don't just tackle it on your own. And even if you can't tackle it together, tackle it on your own and then try to express it, right? I don't know. I like Oda's approach to a lot of like a lot of the more seasoned characters within the context of the story. Characters that are, you know, already in their 30s, their 40s, seasoned pirates, seasoned civilians. Iceberg, for example, has been a shipwright for so long. He's gone through his own disparities as a shipwright. I mean, look at the whole backstory between him, Franky, and Tom, right? He tried to push himself into a position where, like, yeah, he understands shipbuilding, but he also understands people as well. You know what I mean? It's so interesting to me. I really do love Oda's writing, especially from a logical perspective. It does really feel like Oda almost had like a, in some ways it almost feels like Oda almost has like a PhD in psychology when he goes through these things. I'm not saying that everything he writes is like 100% psychologically perfect, but it's like, it comes from at least comes from a perspective of like him just understanding people and just understanding society as a whole. I really do love One Piece for these reasons. I'm probably going to remove, well, I guess we did write a little bit. I'll probably just leave the title, but yeah, guys, I will catch you all later. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, man. Shit's been fun. It's been a good chat. It's been a good chat. And sorry I got on late, but hopefully through Valentine's Day weekend and then through the next couple of days, we'll have a good day. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.